Check 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6. We can work with that. Welcome back to Mountain Label Music. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today I have with me the Thunderbolt 3 PCIe module for the Matrix Studio and other Avid Matrix interfaces. I was originally going to buy this when first building my Atmos Studio, but came to realize that it wasn't essential for actual mixing. What I've realized beyond that is that I still want to do recording, and if I want to use my audio interface, my Avid Matrix Studio in this case, I'm going to need something a little quicker than using a software solution like Dante Virtual Sound Card, which is what I've been using for the past year or so. Enough talking, let's get this bad boy out of this rack space. There we go. Just to clarify for anyone that is thinking about getting a Thunderbolt card for their Matrix Studio or Matrix audio interface, if you're only doing mixing, whether it be Dolby Atmos or stereo or any complicated setup, you don't really need it, because the Matrix Studio and really any other audio interface that allows for Dante network connection and audio routing, you can literally route audio straight from your computer straight into the interface. The issue with this ends up being with latency, because now you have two separate points of audio routing, and when you have a software solution, it's not always the most reliable in my opinion. And with a Thunderbolt option, you actually just connect it straight to your Mac and it works. Now you will have to install drivers with both Windows and Mac OS, is essentially just to change your channel count configuration based on the device you're using, or even its practicalities, like if you don't need more channels or a higher channel count. All right, let's see what we got here. And here's the card. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful card. And there are the Thunderbolt ports there. I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to keep this off to the side for now. Has a QR code with instructions and cleaning requirements for if your Matrix Studio is below a certain model number, because I guess that's the old models where it's probably wise to clean it out. But we're going to go over that in here just a second. So obviously with this Thunderbolt 3 card, you have the ability to increase your I/O within your interface. And for this specific Thunderbolt card, you have up to 256 channels of extra I/O you can use, unless you're using a Matrix Studio. So unfortunately, it's advertised as a 256 channel increase count for I/O, but Avid also notes that with the Avid Matrix Studio, your limitation is actually up to a max channel count of 64 channels, which is kind of a bummer, but I just need it for recording. And if you need a higher channel count, odds are you're probably going to be investing into either a bigger interface or multiple and additional interfaces. But thankfully, it only really increases your capabilities rather than limits you, because now you can route audio in and out from not only your Thunderbolt card, but also between your DigiLink and Dante Virtual Sound Card if you really wanted to. My plan is to use this Focusrite Scarlett interface and just connect it via ADAT and have it as my primary interface for recording microphones. Let's get started with taking this top panel off. All right, here she is in all of her glory. So right now I have the Matrix Studio facing my way, and as you can tell on the other camera, the PCI slot is right here. One thing I didn't realize is there were screws on the side of it. I thought it was all just one top panel. That shows you how much I was paying attention. Can you tell this is my first time? So I'd recommend getting the side screws out first and then taking the whole piece off once you get the top screws out. So Sweetwater actually sent the PCIe card cleaner with the card. On Avid's website, it only recommends that if you are using a Matrix Studio with the model number 103,783 or lower, that it is required to clean. Now mine is 10,000 or 104,000, so I'm a little past that threshold. It honestly looks pretty good. I'm not worried about cleaning it right now, but I would recommend that you would have a can of air ready with you so you could just blow out any kind of dust if there is any. So now we're going to take off the back Thunderbolt cover so we actually can see the Thunderbolt ports and see how it's aligning with this PCIe card. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of those things that I think is, for an interface that has all of this built-in I/O, I think it's a little ridiculous for Avid to go out of their way to put in an expansion card slot specifically for Thunderbolt and then sell it for an additional $800 later on.
He cannot afford.
I get it if it's got like a base unit like how the Avid MTRX 2 has, where it's got multiple PCIe card slots, but what else am I going to be putting right here? You might as well have just put an expansion slot for everything I have on this Matrix Studio, because I don't use it all, and the one thing that I would want included is the Thunderbolt. What the heck? So now where do I put this Thunderbolt cover? Do I just trash it? Do I keep it? Should I keep it? I don't want to keep it. This is why I don't like stuff like this. It's stupid. So now that we've taken off this back cover, it'll actually be a lot easier to fit this in the PCI slot now that we know where we're aiming for. So installing this card is going to be kind of weird. Sliding it above the PCI slot and then twisting. And there we have it.
Great success.
And be sure to keep up with this really tiny screw. You probably can't even see that. It's a really tiny silver screw in a little plastic bag, because that's going to be what you use to secure the PCI card to the frame. So now we're going to screw that in. All right, nice, we're in. Now we're going to take the top cover and put it right back on the interface. Just simply, just like so. Now that we have successfully installed our Thunderbolt 3 card into our Matrix Studio, we now need to get it set up in our Dadman software, which I'm going to show you how to do in this video right here.